Okay, so I just want to do a short little live stream to follow up on the live stream I did on Wednesday night. And it's about how I honestly and truly do not think vegans have moral high ground. Now, just to share my background, I have been mostly vegan since the end of 2013. I'm not a purist, but a lot of vegans you talk to are not purists either. Like, you have a lot of the big vegans that came out and said, oh, they ate candy sometimes. Now, I don't buy dairy. I don't buy eggs or anything like that. When I took the 23andMe test, I found out I'm definitely lactose intolerant. I'm not a big fan of dairy, and I still just personally don't really want to support like the big dairy farmers because I don't really like the way, on a personal note, that they treat animals. Like, to this day, I still am not really a big fan of that. But if I'm going to be 100% honest about why at this point I'm still a vegan, it's just because I don't like dairy. I don't like dairy products, and I've never cared for them because when I was young, my mom raised me as a vegan the first 5 years of my life, and that just seems to be something that has stuck because when they tried to go back to being vegetarian, I never really wanted to consume dairy products. I think because from a young age, like from infancy until 5, I wasn't eating dairy products. And then at 5, she's trying to make me drink milk because they went vegan back in the late 70s and early 80s when nobody really did it, except for maybe some Seventh-day Adventists or hippies, like people that were interested in nutrition. And they had, like, it was very difficult for them because they ate a lot of nuts and seeds. But after like 6 years, like, I guess my mom decided she wanted to be more vegetarian because that's more sensical for her. My mom is still pretty much just a vegetarian nowadays. She doesn't drink cow's milk anymore, but they still cook with eggs and they eat cheese. I don't, personally. In my journey to veganism, as I was growing up, my mom made mostly vegetarian dishes. We would eat chicken occasionally, but my mom didn't even want to make chicken because growing up, they had to slaughter chickens. And the reason she became a vegetarian was because she was so grossed out about it that she didn't want to eat meat anymore. So my mom didn't want us to eat meat. And one of the points of rebellion I used to have as a kid was I would tell my mom, I'm going to eat meat when I grow up. She goes, oh, really? You go ahead and do that. So, hey, how you doing? So, like, I would always say, I'm going to eat meat when I grow up. So when I was 18, I think I might have tried red meat a couple times. I didn't like it. I still would eat chicken once in a while, but on a day-to-day basis, I always ate more vegetarian and very little chicken, maybe a few times a month. Some weeks, maybe a couple of times, like throughout my whole life up until my 30s, okay? Like November 2013. And the thing about chicken or turkey was I would eat it, but I never wanted to prepare it. Like, I never wanted to prepare meat. Like, I just didn't want to handle a dead animal. Like, it would make me sad. So my sister had this extra turkey for me that she gave me on Thanksgiving, November 2013. And I made the turkey and I felt disgusted and sad. And, these are my views. I'm not telling anybody else that they have to feel this way or they have to do this, because I surely do not believe that this makes you a better person if you decide that you just don't want to eat meat anymore. I just decided for myself, I don't want to ever prepare meat again. I don't want to eat it. I most of the time do not eat it. Today I'm not wearing a skirt, but I did the other day when I wore that dress in that one video. I just didn't stand up if you watched my last video, and I will do a video with that dress again. So anyway, I'm just answering comments, like, because I'm doing a live stream. Somebody will have to comment. So anyway, in the story, just to how I became vegan, I just didn't want to eat meat anymore. But this made a lot more sense for me because I kind of just grew up that way. Like, this is just what I've been acclimated to most of my life. So I have to say, yeah, sometimes maybe I got caught up in some of the videos on YouTube, like, oh, veganism is so good for you. And like, I would never preach it to others like some people do. I would never go to a protest or anything like that because I don't think protesting is right, in my opinion. You can protest if you want, but I've never liked the idea of protesting or foisting your view on others. And with veganism, just one of my opinions about it was I always thought this is a very limited diet that most people do not want to participate in. And if you're going to do it, just do it because it's something that you want to do for yourself. Like I have a cat and I would definitely never make my cat be a vegan. And another thing to all the vegans who feel like they're morally better than you because you have a pet, I would never give up my pet or not feed my cat fish just because they had a problem with it. I'm not going to stop having cats who are more loyal to me than a group of vegans that I don't even know on the internet. Okay. And here's the thing about veganism. The people that are really hardcore about it, they've all left. A lot of them, like some of the big ones. I'm not saying everybody, but people were getting mad at Nikocado Avocado a couple years ago when he stopped being vegan and said, you know, there's a lot of hardcore vegan people. They leave veganism. Like they'll be making a video like preaching against slaughterhouses, and then in a couple of years they're eating meat again. So I think you kind of have to think about it this way. Like if you want to be vegan, it really has to be your own personal life journey that you're doing for yourself, not for other people, not because you think it's more sustainable. Because if you want to be real, there's a lot of things that all humans do to the planet that are not sustainable. And yes, I don't really like personally on a personal level the way that the dairy and meat industry treats animals. But guess what? That's just my personal opinion. I can just buy products, and this is what I love actually about mock meats is that there's other products you can buy if you don't want to sponsor that, or if you don't want your dollars to go to certain industries, then buy things that you believe in. You know, that's the great beauty of the free market economy. But I don't think at this point or ever that people are going to ever go completely vegan. I think a lot of young people, well, like, let's be honest, religion's not a big part of daily life anymore. And people still look for meaning. They want to follow something, whether it be like politics. So it seems like nowadays people get involved in a movement and they make it like their religion, and the rules they make about it are kind of religious in a way, like the whole low-fat veganism thing. I never did that, by the way. Like, you know, I honestly think, yeah, if I went back to drinking more smoothies, that would be really good for me. Very super healthy and good. However, I don't all the time, you know. I don't always drink smoothies. I should drink more smoothies, you know. I'm gonna wear a skirt in another video. I'm just answering some questions, but today I'm not in this video. So and yeah, I love having cats. So if you want to be happy in life, don't live your life according to how you think like one group of people tell you should live. And honestly, like a lot of the nutrition advice that vegans give out there, even if they're a doctor, be really careful like what nutrition advice you follow. Like the whole thing, like don't eat any mock meats, is so restrictive. Like there are a couple of vegan RDs that will say, yeah, you can eat mock meats. And if you're not going to eat meat, it's a good way to get protein, because you can eat beans to get protein and hummus, but you have to eat a lot of those. And sometimes as a vegan, you might not be getting enough protein and fat intake. And this idea seems to bother a lot of vegans. Like they just go off the rails when they tell you that. But then this is why you have a lot of ex-vegans leaving and they're starting to eat fish and eggs, because they're not getting enough protein on a whole foods diet. And you can, but when I see a lot of the things that people would make, like on their what I eat today things, like they would just be eating barely anything. They wouldn't be eating any food. And so, yeah, like just eat healthy, eat sustainably. Vegans do not have the moral high ground, in my opinion. Like be a vegan because you want to be, but I just wanted to kind of highlight my opinion on all this. So thanks for watching.